Our topic is about the physical development of high school learners. My name is Lara Micaela, and I'll be discussing about the first part of the module, while my partner, Cheryl Caldan and Mike, will be discussing about the second part of the module. So now let us proceed to the objectives. At the end of the module, you should be able to first describe the physical and sexual changes accompanying puberty. Second, identify the psychological consequence of early and late physical maturation in adolescence. Third, identify factors that enhance or impede the social emotional development of adolescents. And fourth, identify causes of possible habit disorders and ways of coping with them. So now, let us define what, what is adolescence. Adolescence is from the Latin word adolescere, meaning to grow up or to grow in maturity, is a transitional stage of physical and psychological development that generally occurs during the period from the puberty to legal adulthood or age of majority. So adolescence is a period of transition in terms of physical, cognitive, and social emotional changes. Physical transition being particularly coupled with sexual transformation. So, adolescence is a stage of human development that coincides with puberty, a biological development occurring at the average of 11 for girls and 12 for boys. So, there are three stages of adolescence. The first stage, which is the early adolescence, that characterized by puberty may come of age of 11 and 12. Middle adolescence may meet with identity issue within the age of 14 and 16, while late adolescence marks the transition into the adulthood at the age 17 and 20. Puberty changes. In all cultures, biological changes comprises the major transition from childhood to early adolescence, the manifested by a change in physical appearance, a more rapid rate of development. So the growth hormone conditions gradual increases in body size and weight, but hormone flooding occurs during adolescence, causing an acceleration known as the growth spurt. Body changes include changing body dimensions, leg length, shoulder width, trunk growth rather than leg growth. So puberty is when a child's body begins to develop and change as they become an adult. So in girls, they develop breasts and start their periods, while boys develop a deeper voice and facial hair will start to appear. So the average age for girls to begin puberty is 10, reaching its peak at age 11 and a half, while slow continual growth occurs for several more years, while for boys the average age is 12. Factors affecting development. Hormones are powerful and highly specialized chemical substances that interact with bodily cells. So in the male, testosterone stimulates male characteristics comprised by spermatocyte enlargement of the testis gland that produces sperm in the scrotum. So growth of the penis male organ for copulation capacity for ejaculation of male sperms, voice change, facial hair development of beard growth and continuing growth of pubic hair is the most obvious aspect of adolescent development in boys or in males. While in girls, estrogen secretion triggers the beginning of breast enlargement, appearance of pubic hair, widening of hips, and menarche or first menstruation. The secular trend is the phenomenon of more rapid physical maturation during this century. In the 1800s, Girls in industrial societies had their first menstrual period at age 15 to 17, an age later in repressed society. Today, boys reach their maximum height at age 18 to 20 and 13 to 14 for girls, but adult height 100 years ago was 22 to 25 for boys and 19 to 20 for girls. The secular trend is ascribed to varied factors, such as interaction of genetic and environmental influence, improved health care and living conditions, and control of infectious diseases.
So, good day everyone. I am Michael Zado and I will be discussing the second part of this topic, which is physical development of a high school learner. So, to start with, I will first discuss the sexual identity. So, what is sexual identity? Sexual identity, adolescence, is a time of sexual exploration and experimentation, with sexual fantasies and the realities of incorporating sexuality with one's identity, quoted by Santra 2005 from one's identity. It also, sexual identity may also refers to sexual orientation, identity, which is when people identity or disidentify with a sexual orientation or choose not to identify with sexual orientation. So, from the sexual identity, adolescents are concerned about their body image or sexual attractiveness. And from the sexual identity, the sexual orientation comes in, which is a person or adolescent's tendency to be attracted to people of the same sex or homosexual orientation or opposite sex or heterosexual orientation or both sex or bisexual orientation. Next is, so from the next slide, it tackled on self-esteem. So what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is an individual subjective evaluation of their own worth. Self-esteem encompasses belief about oneself as well as the emotion state such as triumph, despair, pride, and shame. So from this self-esteem, it focuses on the emotion. Like for example, this three, four emotions: the despair, pride, and shame. So we have also here three types of self-esteem. So first is the inflated self, low self-esteem, and last is high self-esteem. So inflated self, to think of themselves as better than other people. The low self-esteem, they struggle to ask for what they need, and the high self-esteem, generally holding yourself in a positive regarded. So next slide is all about the implication for childcare, education, and parenting. So we have here four bullets when it comes to implication for childcare education and parenting. So the first is to meet the physical development of adolescent children, parents need to be aware of manifestation of behavioral patterns that require. The second is closer communication, guidance, and support. Next is teens are especially addictive to mobile gadgets that cause shorter sleeping time and may lead to depression. And finally, the teacher support is crucial to protect adolescent learner against severe distress and anxiety of their schoolwork and social relationship. So from this topic, we tackled what should need to do from teachers and parents. Or this is There are basically uh, adolescent that they experience from day to day or from the outside of their home. Okay, next. So next slide is all about adolescent and nutrition. So adolescence is the second fastest growth stage in life after infancy. The adolescent growth spurt during this period creates an increased need for many nutritions. Eating right assures an adequate amount of key nutrients like calcium, iron, and vitamins E, C, and D. So from this adolescent nutrition, it focuses on the nutrition needed from the adolescents, especially in adolescent stage. It is the fastest growth spurt in this period. So next slide is, so we have here the last slide, which the topic is body image and the adolescent. So body image is a person's thoughts, feelings, and perception of the aesthetic or sexual attractiveness of their own body. However, there is more to body image than physical looks, and this concern good habits in relation to. So we have here 5 habits that adolescents needed for their own body or sexual attractiveness. So first is cleanliness and grooming. Second, proper wearing of clothes according to current style. Third one is erect body posture. The fourth one is eye contact while communicating. And lastly is decorum or good form and confidence and decency. So from this body image and adolescence, we have here 5 examples that adolescents needed to do for their sexual attractiveness from them or from their own body, and this should need to this is concerned for good habit relationship. So that would be the ending of our discussion. Once again, I am Michael Zado, together with my partner, Ma'am Lara Micaela Suyot. We hope that you learn from this topic, physical development of a high school learner. And thank you for listening. Have a good day. God bless.